Relatives. Welcome to this week's Schlagbite entitled Whose Truth Sets You Free for the week May 16th, 2011. Officials at the Presbyterian Church in Vienna, Virginia decided to acknowledge the church's failures in handling reports of sexual abuse by its youth ministry director. The church's governing board expected that their statement would upset members of the congregation, but it did not expect that the insurance company would respond as it did. The company's lawyers warned the board, quote, not to make any statements orally, in writing, or in any other manner to acknowledge, admit to, or apologize for anything that might be interpreted as VPCs causing or contributing to any damages arising from the intentional acts, abuse, misconduct by the youth director. And then the lawyers added this proviso, that failure to comply with these conditions would jeopardize their coverage. The church wrote back saying that their lawyer's advice may be correct from a legal perspective, but from the church's perspective, they were going to do the right thing. And what did that mean? They said, doing what is right is informed by our understanding of what God would have us do. So there's a very clear standard that's articulated in Scripture. The church added that they believed the coverage was deserved, and that even if the insurers refused, that they were going to do it anyway. The risks of such a course were substantial. I mean, if the church lost its argument and the insurers were not responsible for paying future claims, they may have to close their doors. But in spite of these consequences, 6 weeks ago, Sunday, the 27th of March of this year, Pastor James addressed the congregation and said, "We won't hide behind lawyers. Jesus said the truth will set us free." And looking at the survivors, he said, "We as church leaders were part of the harm in failing to extend the compassion and mercy that you needed. Some of you felt uncared for, neglected, even blamed in this church. I am truly sorry. I regret the harm this neglect has caused you." The argument between the church and its insurer about potential liabilities remains in limbo. If no lawsuits are filed, it may never be resolved. But I applaud the church's stand. When what's right comes down to a lawyer's truth or the church's, you know whose truth will set you free. Have a great week. Remember, we are all connected. We are all related. Have a wonderful week. I say this for all of my relations, mitakwiyase.